The Cleveland Browns is going down. With the talk of all towns, look around, no frowns. Oh yes, he time. We been sitting in this way, and I want all of it. These people faking and they hating, just keep talking. You gon' feel less, they gon' hear us. We keep barking, Chris. And when it comes to Cleveland, we are all in this. Yeah. Cause he from Baker, some may say throw sauce not safer. Anton get a bad rap like Vader. Going deep, taking toss off like taper. Just bro freak, get smoke like vapor. To the house, oh yeah, see you later. We tougher than alligators. We'll beat you right now and later. Woo. Got a blessing on flow cold like juice play, yes, just know you might lose. These crazy call them typhoons, can't block them, oh yeah, nice moves. Who the stop don't know, oh yeah, Pikachu. We really all hit the lose on every day, just watch them loose. Winning all day, okay, yeah, that's a new hobby. Got some nice new bodies, our past records, we know it's shoddy. The city standing strong, we ain't never choppy. EP of the year, Miles, should worry about your play survival. Yeah, we got Odell well. He maybe sold out some hotels. You can't be mad, we doing well. You know them jokes that they will tell. Now watch the stories they will tell. Only time will tell. Watch where you throw it. We got water and greedy. For these that we starving, yeah, quite needy. The Cleveland legends, we about to be. There is no stopping me. I mean, we. That is how I got to be. Oh yeah, Bengals, they just kittens. Ravens flew away, they hidden. Oh, those Steelers, who they kidding? Play with us, you will get smitten. Okay, yeah, we in the kitchen, bout to bake us, start the mixing. Oh yeah, damn, that bowl is missing, wait. But we said, the Cleveland Browns,
The Big Play Reflog Show is brought to you by ShackNews.com. Shack News is the place to be for all your gaming needs with news, guides, walkthroughs, and reviews, including their featured article previewing Battlefield 2042. And be sure to check out this week's Shack Chat, where the Shack News crew debates which games and consoles are considered retro. And remember, you can join in on the conversation and customize your feed to keep up with your favorite gaming news using the Shack News Cortex and Shack News Reader. So if you're a gamer, Shack News is the site for you. Check them out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch at the handle @ShackNews and at ShackNews.com.
It's time! Streaming live from Cleveland, Ohio! Presenting the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight podcast of the world, the Big Play Reflog Show.
Okay, do you need medical attention?
Yeah.
What is wrong?
I don't know, I know damn now.
Attack by Chuck. To the 10. He's still running to the 5. Dips over and
It's time! The Big Play Reflog Show.
Welcome to the Big Play Reflog Show. I am your host, Big Play Dave. It is Monday, November 15th, and we are back. It is a roller coaster week to week in Cleveland, Ohio. Chris, Nick, how we doing? Most importantly, not only is it a roller coaster, it's also your birthday. Happy birthday, Dave.
That it is. Thank you, my friend. Thank you very much. I was hoping for a win.
Yeah, no.
Now I guess I have to hope for a Lions win.
Or maybe the Cavs. Cavs might pull through tonight. You'll see.
We'll see. We'll
Talk
see.
to Angel Gray, see what her thoughts are on that.
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, the big 3-8, Chris. I'm catching you, man.
You are. Wow, 3 years there, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Only what? Was that 1 year at Miami together?
I guess so. Yeah, we never crossed paths.
No.
You know, you weren't up at Mac and Joe's. That's where I would have seen you.
Love Mac and Joe. Great wings. Nick?
Great wings. Oh,
best,
yeah. Great
best
wings.
wings.
$2 natty mugs. $2 natty mugs. The wings. That was fantastic. You had Church Street Station. You had First Run, also known as, well, I won't say what it's called.
I will say Church Street, that was one of my favorites, Chris. I lived over there a block away. Those wings were very good.
Circle Bar with Daryl. Daryl
White-
at Circle Bar. He's probably
White
still there.
Russians.
He was the best, man. And then the German bar, Der Steinkeller.
Oh yeah, down in the basement.
Attractions. Do you remember Attractions?
Oh yeah, that was there. That was there.
Pachinko's. Man,
Pachinko's, yeah, Lottie.
All
I
the
remember
memories.
all these places, man. I don't even remember the names of the dorms, but I remember all the bars. It's amazing.
Get a Ron Harper burger.
There you go. Bagel and Deli. Go there and get the Tanya Harding.
I
That,
know,
that was
we're-
my favorite. The Tanya
Miami
Harding.
University. We're still waiting for the reflog bagel. So get
I know. They won't do it, man. I don't know.
Yeah, we're just
Um,
trying to avoid talking Browns as much as we can. Hello, how are you?
We got Kent Akron this weekend too.
Woo!
We
All
break
right.
that down. Golden Flashes versus
We
Zips.
sure
The
could.
Army Navy of Northeast Ohio.
Hell yeah, it is.
There we go. Thank you, Jared. I appreciate the birthday message. Twitter comments still don't work. Twitter, get your act together. So if you want to leave a live comment, pop over to YouTube, pop over to Facebook. We got a packed show. We got to get right into it. We've got 2 guests coming up. We're not going to go all Browns because we don't feel like it. We're going to go Buckeyes. We're going to go Cavs, and we're going to talk a little Browns. So tonight on the show, we'll kick it off with headlines brought to you by TSE Cleveland. I suck. I forgot to do a giveaway this week. We will do one this coming week. What did we give away last time? A signed Jarvis jersey, I think it was.
Yeah, that's a
Yep.
pretty good item right there.
You could,
We
we
give
could
away a-
probably give away an OBJ.
We gave away a Wyatt
Those are
Teller
cheap.
signed 8x10 too.
That's
right
true.
after the extension.
Yes, that was good timing. Yeah. So, yeah, go check them out, TSE. But we're going to get into headlines. Then we're going to go. It's a big weekend for the Buckeyes. We're bringing in Cleveland.com Stephen Means to break down those Buckeyes, break down that game this coming Saturday. And then we're going to talk Cavs because they look good. Maybe not tonight, but they're looking pretty darn good. Are they coming back, Nick?
Yeah, they're hanging in there. Fourth quarter Cavs. Only
They play
down by
like
3.
dogs. I love their barking.
Yeah.
The Browns could use a little bit of
Yeah,
that.
at least
Cardiac calves, baby.
Heck yeah. Yeah, so we're going to talk some Cavs with the one and only Angel Gray, who is leaving us. She actually just left us, so whatever. We'll get into that with Angel, but super pumped for her going to ESPN. Talk some Cavs with her and her new gig. Then it's on to Browns trivia. Who wants to be a billionaire? Hopefully this week, giving away some Labatt blue lights and a GV art shirt. Then we're going to talk some Browns. Browns-Lions. I swear if we lose this game, I'm gonna throw up
It's
everywhere.
the GLC, baby. The GLC.
Battle of the Barge, Chris.
Battle for
of
the barge. Did they ever find the barge, or is it still missing?
I think it's missing. I
it
think
is.
it's missing. Yeah.
I
Look at
hope
some
it
bets
is.
with my bookie. Look at some prop bets, some carny bets. I'm sure there's going to be some weird ones in that game. Then we'll wrap up with the best and worst tweets of the week. Let's kick it off with some Cleveland headlines. Cleveland headlines brought to you by our good friends at TSE Cleveland. TSE helping us give away tons of signed Browns gear this season. Keep an eye for our next giveaway. Go subscribe on YouTube on that channel to be eligible to win. All right. Aaron Goldhammer tweeted this out. I know a lot of you don't like him, but whatever. Nick's boy. The Browns, he tweeted this. The Browns lost 5 games all last year. No matter how you cut it, this is a significant step back. This is Browns' 4th worst loss since 1999. We've had a day to process it. I don't want to talk about it for very long. But
How many
Nick,
different angles are we going to try just to tell us that we sucked? I
Right.
mean, really?
Yeah,
We get it.
gone through
Okay.
it. Yes,
All
it's
right.
over. It's over.
Right.
But
We're already
Nick-
dead.
Nick, is it time to panic? Are we hitting the panic button?
That's a good question. I'm not hitting the panic button, but my finger is definitely on the panic button. And the reason behind that is as bad as yesterday was, and really, let's face it, guys, as bad as this season has been with all the ups and downs, somehow, some way, the Browns still control their own destiny in this thing.
Yeah, it's a weird division.
That is
We're
crazy.
not doing this goofy thing yet where it's like, oh, well, if the Ravens lose and the Steelers tie, then the Browns get in. We're not there yet. So as bad as it's been, you gotta find a way to flush it and go out there and just start winning some games, man.
I mean, we probably won't win a wild card, right? At this point,
Yeah,
It's-
it
we
seems
gotta
like
win the
that's
division, probably,
yeah.
so, right? Yeah.
Crazy. Welcome to the AFC.
So we were talking about this off air a little bit. Obviously, the defense sucks. Joe
No
Woods
kidding.
has been horribly inconsistent to say the least. Baker looked horrible. Is it time to shut down Baker? Like we've been very even keeled with Baker. We're like, you know what? He's the guy who has gotten us from 0-16, a dumpster fire, to pretty good football. And if he's going to take us to the next step, like deep in the playoffs, maybe, probably not at this pace, but we'll see. We might just be kind of a pretty good football team for a while with him. He's not looking good though, man. Is it time to shut him down for the year?
I hate the fact that we've got a foot in like two worlds, you know? It's like, what are we doing with him? You know, it'd be nice to say, hey, if we're going to make a run for these playoffs, we don't know what we're going to get out of Baker week in, week out. The guy's beat up. I mean, it's going to be a new injury, it seems now every week. You got the foot,
Right.
you've got the knee, you've got the shoulder, you've got all kinds of issues. If you really want to make a concerted run at the playoffs, why not go to Case and say, hey, we're just going to roll with him?
Because I don't think they know that
They
Case
must
is
know
not
that
that
Case
good.
is not the answer.
Right.
That's got to be it, right? They have no confidence in Case. If they did, and I thought they did going into the season, but you're right, Nick. If at this point they're not saying, hey, Baker's hurt, we're putting him down, we're going to shut him down, we're going to make a run for this thing, Case is our guy, because that's what you got to do in these situations.
Yeah.
You know,
And
it's funny that we played Bill Belichick because he was so good about doing that. You know, he famously cut Bernie Kosar, right? He did the same thing when he was with the Patriots. When he brought in Tom Brady after Drew Bledsoe got hurt, he's just like, hey, that guy's gone. Now, I'm not advocating cutting Baker Mayfield, first of all, but I'm just saying that when you move on, you got to say, hey, this guy's sitting, this guy's going to play. And that's what you need to do to get to the playoffs, I think, because I don't think you can play in both worlds right now.
I think Bill Belichick would have sat Baker before Cincy, which would obviously not have been a great call, but he probably would have sat him until the bye week, and then he can have a revenge game on the second Ravens game, fully healthy. Like this, I'm with you, Chris. Like this is getting real annoying because Baker's never going to sit himself down.
Right.
If he can hobble out there, he's going. He's going to go on the field. If he has one arm, he's going on the field. So yeah, they got to figure this out because that was just piss poor all around. It was except for Dearness Johnson, averaged over 5 yards a carry. Great game, my man. Great game.
man, it's almost like we should have used him a little bit.
Yeah, no kidding. You know, at halftime, he was averaging like 10 yards a carry, and then our pass game was averaging like 2 yards. And
What did we have? 42
Yeah.
yards?
Unbelievable. It was like you just look at the stats and go, why the heck did we not run the ball more? Especially after that first drive. It's not like we were in a hole right from the beginning. We
Oh,
scored.
Chris, but the all 22 Twitter will come
I'm
at you. For that.
sure
No,
they
it's got to be a mixed
Can't
bag.
Come at me. Come at me, bro. Let's go. Good Lord.
I have nothing else to say. Do you guys have anything else to say?
Let's talk some Buckeyes.
Heck yes. Let's move on. I feel like we talked Browns for 5 minutes, and that was 5 minutes too many. We'll
Get your
into
stuff
the Lions,
together, Browns. Let's beat those Lions.
right? All right, let's get into our first featured interview of the week. We're bringing on Cleveland.com's Steven Memes. We're going to talk about the Buckeyes, team who knows how to win. Let's go. All right, it is Ohio State Buckeye time. Football, basketball writer for Cleveland.com, Steven Memes, joining the show. Steven, how are you, sir?
I'm good. That little overlay you guys just did there just basically told me I need to get better Avi, but I'm doing good.
I went out to find. I was like, I gotta find a better picture. I was like, that's all right. It's a little blurry. Sorry, man. I'm
Nah, that's
screenshotting
not
you
your
right
fault.
now. We're going to use that next time.
I don't know if this is any better, but I guess it is what it is. You take what you get.
Oh man. So Steve, are you a Browns fan?
No, I would never do that to myself. Not at all. I watched my dad be a Browns fan growing up. I would never want to put myself through that level of torture.
Smart.
Good for you, man. Good for you. All right, let's talk some Buckeyes then. So obviously the Buckeyes have a bit of a schedule left: Michigan State and Michigan. Which of those components do you think they should be more worried about?
I'd say Michigan State because I don't think anybody needs to worry about Ohio State getting up from Michigan. I mean, they put 62 on their head in 2018, and then they put 56 on their head in 2019. And obviously, most people have heard the rumors of Ryan Day allegedly saying that the next time we play you in some type of conference call, telling Harbaugh, we're going to put 100 on your head the next time we see you. I don't know if he actually said that or not. I can't confirm that. But what I do know is they take that rivalry pretty serious over there. And they do something dedicated to it pretty much every single day, and then it ramps up times 100 during that week. So I'm not worried about them getting up for that. This Michigan State team actually is pretty good because Kenneth Walker might be a Heisman Trophy candidate. They've got a solid passing game, and Jaden Reed and Jalen Nader, obviously the wide receivers, lead that. I just think Michigan State's the better team, so they just might, put up a better fight against Ohio State than its rival would be, which is a crazy thing to say.
Yeah, right. So let's just say the Buckeyes win out. Which Western Division opponent do you think would give them the biggest challenge in the conference championship?
Honestly, Minnesota is interesting just because they did some weird stuff the first time they played them, and Ohio State was all types of loss, and they couldn't stop the run. But also, Mohammed Ibrahim's not playing, so you take away that aspect. So maybe I'd say Wisconsin just because they're the best team in the West, but I don't know if I believe it at all. Just because I don't think anybody in the West is good. That's where I'm coming to at this point. I don't think anybody in the West is actually good. The three good teams in this conference all play in the East, which is the same every year.
I kind of noticed from that laugh.
Yeah, it's really boring covering Ohio State sometimes, man. It's a lot of this stuff. This is not good. This is not good. So what? They won 59-31. What do you want me to say?
How about the favorite for the Heisman? What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a Bryce Young, CJ Stroud battle for it at this point. Kenneth Walker's really good, but I think his moment was the Michigan game, and I just think it was way too early. Matt Corral's kind of missed his moment because, if he had showed out against Alabama, I think the leader now, but he didn't do that, and Ole Miss is not a playoff team. Pittsburgh's quarterback, he's Pittsburgh's quarterback, so that's not a real thing there. And then obviously there's listen, I'm just going to be honest. And then Georgia, obviously, I think the best player in college football is probably Jordan Davis, the defensive tackle out of Georgia. But they rotate those guys so consistently that he's never going to have the numbers. So he can't have the Chase Young type of season that would match the talent that is there. You have to take him off the board. You can do the same with some of Alabama's linebackers and all the way down the board, the same with Ohio State's wide receivers. So I think, this stretch of games, CJ Stroud's got to play Purdue, Michigan State, Michigan, all those teams are in the top 20 right now. And then you add in potentially Wisconsin, who's top 20 right now. That's 4 top 20 teams in the country that he's going to have to play. And if he's going to keep putting up these ridiculous numbers, that's his case. While it looks like Bryce Young's going to have a date with Georgia and Atlanta at the first week of December. And so that's where he makes his case. So I just think it's a two-man battle, even if neither has necessarily done much to separate themselves yet.
Stephen, let's go past the Big Ten and the Big Ten championship. How would this team fare? How do you think they measure up to teams like Georgia, Alabama, and I'll even throw in Cincinnati? How do you think that they'd compare to a Cincinnati right now?
Cincinnati's hard because the last time Luke Fickell got a chance to play Ohio State, he got shut out. And I'm not joking with that. I just think he overthought that moment. It's him coming home, and I think he didn't treat it like it was just a normal game. He just did a little too much there. I don't think that would happen this time. I just think Ohio State's the more talented team, and that would show. Ohio State's got 3 first-round receivers. And the who was the fourth best guy in that room is now Alabama's best receiver, which is, I mean, that's a crazy thing to say.
It's
So
incredible.
I don't,
Incredible.
yeah, it is. It is. So I just don't think Cincinnati has the talent, even if they are having an impressive season, to keep up with Ohio State, Georgia, Alabama, those teams. I don't know how good Alabama is. I think Bryce Young is really good. I think Jamison Williams is really fast. And I think they've got some good linebackers, but I just don't know if this is an Alabama team I fear the way that maybe you feared some Alabama teams in the past. So I don't even know if they're going to make the playoff, quite to be frank with you, because if they lose to Georgia, they're out. They're not getting in with 2 losses, so I'm not necessarily worried about that. I think Georgia and Ohio State are the 2 best teams in the country because there's no complete team. But Georgia's got the best defense in the country, and Ohio State's got the best offense in the country. So how about they just do us all a favor and get on the field together and see which unit's better?
I like that. Going to the other side of the ball, what do you think about this Buckeyes defense? Kerry Coombs has been up and down. He handed off his play calling assignments back earlier in the season. Of course, we saw the effort last weekend, gave up a lot of points. So what do you think about this Buckeyes defense, and what do you think the potential is as they enter the last part of the season?
I think the Buckeyes defense has an offense that scores 45 points a game. So it's
Best defense is a good offense, right?
Yeah, but in this situation, it's like we've been saying it all year on our podcast, Buckeye Talk, and we've been writing it all year and saying it all year, all over the place. How good does defense have to be if that's what your offense is going to do? I mean, you gave up 31 points. You're supposed to lose a football game like that, except your offense scored 59 points. Yeah. And so I think, can the defense be good enough to not get in the offense's way? Now, granted, I'll give the defense some respect. Defense is why they won against Penn State. It's the reason they won against Nebraska, because the offense kind of went flat for a little bit. So I'll give them a little bit of respect there. But I think if this defense can get to a space where it's only giving up 20 to 24 points, that's fine, because you're still beating teams by 3 touchdowns. And so I think they're okay. I think Purdue threw it a lot. They threw it like 54 times. I don't know if there's another team on the schedule who's going to do that. They do still need to clean up that run game a little bit. And yes, they lead the nation in sacks and whatnot, but they didn't really do that on Saturday. They didn't get home at all. And I think they only had 1 pressure. But I think this defense has showed me enough to let me know they're not going to get in the way of the offense. That's all that really matters.
I think you hinted at it and you said it best. I think at this point in the Buckeyes football season, a lot of us just kind of want to see Ohio State and Georgia. At least that's where I'm at. If those two do come to face, how do you think that shakes out? What's your instinct say there?
It's either going to be 14-7 and Georgia wins, or it's going to be 42-35 and Ohio State wins. I have no idea how that game is going to play out, because I genuinely don't know how good Ohio State's defense is or isn't. I know they're not elite. Yeah. Are they average? Georgia's offense is okay, but also they're not playing their best quarterback right now, because I don't know what's going on with JT Daniels. He was hurt, and then now he just doesn't have the job. So they're not the most competent offense in the world. So I don't know. This is a hard year of college football, because there's no complete team. There's no runaway Heisman Trophy candidate. None of the normal stuff that we see in college football exists this year. Yeah. So it's either going to be really high scoring or really low scoring, and we're going to find out some things about one of these units. One of these units might be fraud, and that's hyperbolic to say, but that's also on the table. Is that it's a 41-14 game because one of these units was just fraud. We'll maybe find that out, but I don't know if we're ever going to really get a handle on this season.
If you had to take a guess, how does your college football playoff shake out here in 2 weeks?
I'm confident about 3. I know in. I think I know Ohio State's getting in. I don't think they're losing to anybody. I think Georgia's getting in. I'm still on the fence whether I think Alabama can beat Georgia, because if they beat them, they both get in, and then it lost everything. But I know for sure those are my 5 though. It's going to be Georgia, Ohio State, and Oregon are in regardless of what's going on, and then either Cincinnati or Alabama gets in, depending on who wins the SEC championship. Which I know is a cop-out answer, but I'm going to stick with that answer so nobody can yell at me on Twitter.
No, we're perfectly fine with that.
Hey, switching here, Stephen, over to basketball. I know we're in the middle of football season. A lot of people don't even look at the hardwood for the Buckeyes this early, but I've been following them. They had the buzzer beater against Akron. Fortunately, won that. A little bit more space against Niagara, though. That one was still close. Tonight, they blew out Bowling Green. Give us an overview of this Buckeyes team. What does Chris Maltman's squad look like for this year? And then what's the ceiling for it?
Do you like EJ Liddell?
I do.
You should get used to watching EJ Liddell for the next 2 months here, because that's all you're going to get offensively. Now, granted, tonight I think he only had 13 points and whatnot, but It's Bowling Green. They're supposed to win that game by 40. I think they're really young. I think their second and third most talented players are freshmen who are really playing their first real college basketball. Malachi Branham, especially, this is game 3 for him. Michi was here last year, but he was basically only here to watch CJ Walker play point guard, not to actually have an impact on the court. So those two guys are really young, and they're going to have to gain experience, and they're going to make some mistakes, and they're going to look good at some times. Guys aren't healthy. Justin Sewing has got a groin issue that's been traveling with him since basically February and March. That's still not right, and we'll see how that goes. Kyle Young, we know he's probably going to be in and out the lineup because there's always something. Seth Towns won't be until December, early January at the earliest. So there's just going to be a lot of figuring out. And in the meantime, EJ Liddell is just going to have to be 25-8 every single night to keep this team afloat. And that's not a bad thing. I'm basically saying he needs to be a National Player of the Year candidate to keep this team afloat until everybody gets it. And it'll probably start clicking around January, which is fine. But if EJ does what he's supposed to do, then and this team comes along the way I think this team is going to come along, the way Holtman thinks this team is coming along, then this is a team that should get to the second weekend of the NCAA tournament. And we shouldn't run into a problem where they're losing to Oral Roberts in the first round, or they're getting to the second round of the tournament and they're flaming out.
What do you make of Michi Johnson, one of those younger players that you had just mentioned? I know he's got a lot of eyeballs up here in Cleveland, a Garfield Heights guy. What do you make of Michi this season and throughout, some high hopes for his Buckeyes career? Am I correct?
Yeah, he's really explosive, and I think he knows it. He's better than a lot of people on the court, and I think he knows that too, which can sometimes get him in trouble. I just think he needs to slow down. And that'll come. I think right now he gets the ball and he's 100 miles per hour, which is great when it works. But when it doesn't work, it's a really bad turnover. He had a couple tonight. He had a couple against Niagara, and he had a lot against Akron. And so the game's just going to have to start slowing down for him. I understand the first time anybody ever saw him as a freshman at Garfield Heights, he put up 50 points in a basketball game. That Michi still exists. But the Michi who will also get 10 turnovers in a game exists too. So he's got to find some middle ground between those two people early on in his career.
Steven, you mentioned your podcast. Is this a Buckeyes podcast?
Yeah, it's called Buckeye Talk. It's pretty much anywhere you can find Ohio State podcast or any other type of podcast. It's myself and Doug Lamarice and Nathan Baird, and we have a good time. It's 5 days a week. Don't ask me how we find ways to get
5 days a week.
What? 5 days a week, 365 days a year. I don't know how we do it. It's crazy because there's like 30% of our podcast is us being on air going, I don't know how we're going to do this every day. And then we consistently find ways to do it every single day. And they're long. They're like 90-minute podcasts. And then we have a super long one that goes like 2.5 hours. We talk a lot.
That's more than the flagship station down here in Columbus talks Buckeyes. That's pretty amazing. That's good stuff.
Yeah, it is good stuff until you realize you've been sitting in the chair sweating, talking into a mic for 2.5 hours.
Oh, man, that's fantastic. Go check him out, Stephen Means, cleveland.com. Check out the podcast, Buckeye Talk. One more before we let you out of here. Chris Olave, where do you think he's going to go in the draft? And do you think the Browns
Why will it be the Browns?
Please.
Do you want Olave or do you want Wilson? I've seen both of them, Browns,
man. I'll take
Why not both?
Chris Olave might be the third best receiver in that room, which is crazy because he's the semifinalist. I think Garrett's the better pro prospect. Chris is the better college football player, but I think they're both going to be really, really good. I think they're both top 15 picks. Garrett's just a little bit more explosive. He's 6'1", maybe in like boots and Timberlands, but he plays like he's 6'4". He's really explosive, really strong hands, and so I just think I don't know if Chris is a surefire like number one receiver in the NFL. I think he has the skill set of one. He's just not as big. He's just not as explosive as Garrett Wilson could be with the ball in his hands. But I know looking at Garrett, that kid's he might have 1,000 yards next year, depending on what team he goes to. So, but I do think both of those guys are top 15 picks. And obviously, just to talk about some of the other guys, Jack Smith-Njigba, that kid's a first rounder. Meke Ibuka, who we keep seeing almost break a kick return for a touchdown. I think he's the best guy in the room as far as the ceiling. He's a future first rounder. Julian Fleming is the number one wide receiver in the 2020 recruiting class. Marvin Harrison Jr. is the son of a Hall of Famer. You get the point. It's a lot happening in that room right now. I'm sorry. This is. If I sound annoyed, it's because I say this 75 times a day. But to the point of seriously, I think Garrett Wilson and Chris Olave are both top 15 picks in the NFL draft. I know.
Which is wild. That's crazy.
As Urban Meyer used to say, big city problems.
Yes, very much so.
Big city problems.
Steven, we appreciate the time, my man. Hope to have you on again sometime soon.
Definitely, anytime.
All right. Steven Means, ladies and gentlemen, great stuff. Great stuff from Steven. Let me give him a round of applause.
You could tell that's a guy that does a lot of podcasting.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Good stuff. We don't talk enough Buckeyes, Chris.
I know. That's why I heard him on the station down here, and I was like, I got to get that guy on. And he was fantastic, just as he was when I listened to him. So
that's right.
We'll have Steven back on again.
Absolutely. Let's go back-to-back interviews. Keep the winning going.
Yes.
Because we're talking some Cavs. We're talking some career bumps up to ESPN. Let me find her picture here. Hold on one second.
I like how on the screen.
It pains me to say it, but former Cavs sideline reporter, newest member of ESPN, Miss Angel Gray. Welcome back to the show. How we doing?
I was a little nervous about that picture selection. I'll be honest. I was like, no.
That's all Nick. That's all Nick.
I'm doing well. I've been able to calm down. It's been a very overwhelming week, but as you already know, it's been exciting, an exciting journey, an exciting ride. Obviously, awesome to be back with you guys too. So thanks for having me.
Heck yeah, congratulations. We saw that news. I was like, no, but I was like, all right, we're happy for you, whatever.
And I tell you what, it was the hardest thing to actually write that letter to.
I bet, yeah.
It was a full week of I want to make sure they understand how invested I was in this team, this city. I remember coming back from even Atlanta after I did the WNBA stuff in the summer, in the first game back at home. And my friend comes down and she's like, welcome home. And I was like, oh, it's home. That's that feeling that I had. And I mean, just to have to say I have to step away, because obviously it's an amazing opportunity. It's literally a dream come true. And it doesn't mean that I have to give my Cavs gear away, which is great. But it definitely, it stung. It was bittersweet to say bye to some amazing people, obviously family. And the guys have been amazing, front office, obviously the network, and just AC, John, and Andre being able to step in. But it was hard. My goal was to get through the last day without crying. And I was this close. Until some of the guys. So all in all, I'm excited, but it definitely still stings a bit.
Well, you picked one hell of a send-off game.
Right?
Oh my God. Did they dedicate it to you? Or at halftime, they're like, all right, we're winning this one for Angel.
Yeah, at some point I was like, it's my last game, so bump it. I'm not a reporter anymore. I'm just a fan. And you're giving me a mic to just be like a homer at this point. And I remember at the beginning of the game, Darius walking past me, I said, dude, we got to get this win. You got to get it. And he was like, all right, cool. I got you. And Jetty said the same thing. And a couple of the other guys, Jared Allen started doing this fist bump with me right in the middle of my hits. I'm like, what are we doing? So it was just one of those things where you're like, finish strong. I don't want this to be the last game where it's just down 19. I got to ask sad questions. So the fact that they were able to come back, even at the buzzer beater, a couple of the, guys in the front office pointed at me and like, that's for you. The security guys, this is for you.
That's awesome.
I mean, it was literally the most overwhelming experience you could ever imagine. The picture that you showed is literally going to go in a frame with Darius Garland, Jimmy,
Blow it up.
with the shot of my career with the Cavs. I mean, we're literally screaming at each other. Just so pumped about that one. That was a huge win for them, obviously being depleted, but all in, I'm a little selfish, and to go out with, the back-to-back wins is pretty cool.
How cool was the moment too, Angel, after the game, and you got some airtime even after you were technically done in the presser with Darius and Evan, and they presented you that basketball. It was kind of a cool moment to watch at home. How cool was that for you or were you shocked there at all?
I was, because I mean, it could be business as usual. You could say, I'm going on to another venture, and they're like, well, best of luck. But when you know that you've really invested in relationships, you understand how they're going to give back to you. And they have been phenomenal. I actually have some flowers that are still sitting over here right now. So these are my wine and gold flowers that Madison, for the social director, gave me. And I'm still waiting to see if I can get a nice little frame for this. But yeah, here's the basketball.
Look at that.
Wow, right there.
That's awesome.
Right here. Like, this means the world to me. So, I mean, I don't want any of my chicken soup to get on it or anything, but I just want to make sure that's in a safe place. That's going to be definitely highlighted in my future office. So
You need Rafa to put it in the picture frame.
I know. Okay. So it's not a picture frame. It's a picture frame, but it's Angel's night at the museum. Let that be very.
You got to keep that going. Keep that going.
Angel at the museum. I told him he's cleared to use it since he's used it. Unbeknownst to me in many occasions. But honestly, that became one of the coolest things too. Just kind of like finding the best plays, the best dunks, and double submissions, and then the fans jumping on and saying, we think you should use this one. If we were able to progress, we were going to find some really creative ways to get everybody involved. But I'm cool with him still using it.
That's fantastic. So obviously you're moving on to ESPN. Have you announced exactly what you're going to be doing? You're allowed to talk about it, or what's going on here?
So I can say this.
Don't get in trouble.
I won't. I think it's exciting because it's not limited to just one sport. And I'll just be a juggernaut of such. But they literally said, we want you to be a big part of professional sports, which was awesome for me. And then two, because I'm a product of the ACC. So being able to go back to ACC Network and cover some amazing games, and obviously their release, who I'll be working with, which is exciting news for me too, is a really humbling experience. And I just remember, when I was younger and everybody wanted to work for ESPN, and you're getting E3 games and things here and there, but to be full time, and I know benefits sound great to everyone, but they sound amazing to me. So that alone, I was just like, you know what, this is going to be a really cool opportunity, and being closer to home, and that's just it's a really awesome opportunity, and I really couldn't pass it up.
Congratulations, Angel. While you're there at the mothership, can you see about getting the Cavs a few national games?
Oh yeah, listen, my first email, if we keep winning, I'm like, look, I don't care if I'm running stats. I got to be in the building to make sure that, we're on TV. These guys are so awesome. They're fun to be around. They're focused. One of my favorite quotes of the year was when we were in Toronto, I believe. And it was when Darius Garland hit the 2 free throws that obviously won the game with 4.8 seconds left or something to that nature. And he turned to Evan. He was like, hey, dude, you won this game for us. It was 4 seconds left on the shot clock, the game clock. And Evan turns to me and goes, we still have 4 seconds left. And it's just that serious of we're not happy to just be in the game. I know there were a couple of times even in previous years where it was just like, well, we didn't get blown out. But the attitude is just no, we want people to feel us. We want people to understand that we have arrived and the work that they put in. I don't think we've talked about it enough, what this team has done in the off season, being in Vegas together and working out, being, here doing boxing classes and axe throwing together and stuff like that. This team really enjoys being around one another, are invested in one another, and it's a bunch of dogs. As you can see, we bring it up all the time about the barking, but they want to win for one another. And Coach Bickerstaff has been the ultimate leader, and everything that they've been able to do. That they are laser focused. I'm sad that they dropped the one today, obviously to Boston, but I don't know if we had any available bodies at this point. But hopefully we can bounce back in Brooklyn.
How cool is the barking stuff, Angel? Because for me, it reminds me a little bit of, when JB was with Memphis and the whole grit and grind mentality that he brought to that bunch. Kind of seems like, JB's getting a little comfortable here in Cleveland. We're copy and pasting some of that formula that we saw work over there in Memphis.
Yeah, Memphis, but also like the dog pound here.
Yeah.
Why not have it be a whole city type of thing? But honestly, Lamar Stevens was the one that started that. He told me at a Meet the Team event that it was something where he was just on the bench and just to intimidate other players. He would just bark at him. It's like out of nowhere. I'm like, dude, that's weird. He was just like, but it's caught on. Everybody else started barking. So it just became our thing. Like, we're dogs. We're going to go after you. We're coming at you. And he told me the quote that he had while he was at Penn. He said, the hungriest dog is the fastest to the food. And so it's like one of those mentalities, like, we're going to go after you because we're the hungriest on the court. Like, everybody else thinks they're going to win. No, we're going to win. We're going to fight for every single possession. So when you see that and then they're barking and jumping on one another, I think it's cool because even when I was in college, that was our mentality. Like, we weren't the best team in the ACC, but when we were able to, even in the NCAA tournament, beat Stanford at Stanford, who was a number 2 seed, and I think we were like a 10 seed. We were on the floor getting dirty, and that's the mentality. Like, we were rolling on the floor with one another, and it's just that same mentality of like, you got to get dirty, you got to be a dog in order to win tough games, and they've been doing so.
Angel, can you text JB and the crew and have them visit our Browns for a motivational speak?
Oh yeah,
they're barking like once every 2.5 weeks right now.
Listen, I can't have the Falcons and the Browns down. That's just a depressing Sunday. There are days when I remember, that's how you know I love this city. I remember going, just watching the Browns at home. My dad was like, the Browns game's on. I was like, Dad, chill, I got it. I'm good. I know the Browns are on. But like, if they're down, I'm like, Jesus, what am I going to do? But if the Falcons are losing, then it's just all bad. Like, Cavs fans are like, you should just be on our side. I don't know what I want to do right now. At this point, I'm just happy that the Cavs are winning.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I'll let you know about that motivational speech.
So, Angel, when does it all kick? Oh, go ahead, Chris.
Well, I was going to say, you talked about the team being fun, and there's no doubt about it. Like, every game, it seems like this is a team that just exudes fun, which a lot of the teams, even when they were good, sometimes it would be frustrating as a fan to watch. One of the new pieces this year, Ricky Rubio. Can you talk about kind of his influence on the team? Because it feels like some of the up-tempo stuff and some of the stuff that he's done has rubbed off on some of the younger guys in the locker room.
I don't want to say this in a sense of like, I know that he's an 11-year vet, but when you're mentioning fun, he's like the uncle that keeps everybody in line. Like, all right, y'all be safe out there while they're out there dancing. They literally are dancing, having fun with one another, doing competitions on the floor. And Ricky's just like, haha, all right, cool. But he just kept everybody together. There was one part. There are 2 defining moments for me with him. Very first game, we were at Memphis, and there was just a miscue or something on the floor, like a bad play that resulted with Memphis scoring on the other end. Probably Ja was on top 10 somewhere. So everyone's looking like, what are we doing? At that very moment, you could see Ricky just go, gathered everyone, looked at every single person, and they were looking dead in his eyes. And he was just explaining where everyone needed to be. I was like, that's leadership. That's going to take us a long way.
Wow.
But another point on the bench just recently, and it might have even been in the Detroit game.
Okay.
We won that one by 20.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember him looking at everyone and saying, we have to make sure that we're on the same page. We have to make sure that they respect him so much that when he is getting on someone, they're like, you're right. I got it. I got to do better. And then you move on to the next thing. He has that credibility within a huddle that is golden. It literally is golden. And everyone talks about his impact on the backcourt with Darius and Colin, obviously, but it goes way beyond that. Like, Coach Bickerstaff trusts him. I trust him. He's shown off the bench that he is just a factor, and he's just been incredibly important to this roster, not just from an aspect of being a vet, but also by leading example of how to play each night.
That's fantastic stuff, Angel. It's weird that you're gone now. That's super weird.
Yeah, that's normally the part, Dave, where you say, "Okay, where can people find you?" Well, ESPN is going to be the answer there.
Going?
Yeah.
I don't.
When does it all kick off? What's your schedule? Like, are you going to be traveling all over the place?
That's confidential, Dave. You're asking her confidential questions now. You're going to get her into trouble.
No, I'm not
necessarily. I will be traveling, but I'll be here through Christmas.
Nice.
Go figure. I'm like, they're like, you're gonna stay in Cleveland through Christmas? I was like, oh, that's what. Put my tree up one last time, and that'll be that.
Nice.
But I have my first game is gonna be December 2nd on ESPN2, so I'm really excited about that. Kind of nervous. It's gonna be so different, but I'm really excited about it.
December
that is cool. Make sure you tweet it out so we know exactly when you're going to be on, so everyone in Cleveland can watch you.
I will for sure, and flood it with Go Cavs. That's fine by me.
Yeah, we will.
Angel, you are the best. We're gonna miss you, but we're very, very excited to see you on the big screen, and looking forward to that real soon.
Listen, thanks so much for your support through this whole journey. Like, obviously, I mentioned it with our network, and even with the fans. It's people like you guys who make covering these teams fun, and really diving in on who everyone is. So thanks so much for your support and everything. And obviously, I'm just a direct message away.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, last one before I let you go. How'd Andre do filling in for you?
Oh, I thought he was great. I mean, he looks very interesting in a tie, but outside of that, go Andre.
Angel, you're the best. Thanks. We'll see you on the big screen soon.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
Yeah.
Thanks, Angel.
Awesome stuff from Angel. She's great. One of the best interviews out there.
Oh, absolutely. So engaging too. She'll do fantastic there at ESPN. I think it goes without saying, but it's nice to see somebody from Cleveland once again, who's come through this market, go on to bigger, better things. And she's going to be fantastic.
That's right. Do you know what else is going to be fantastic, Chris? Giving away some Labatt Blue Lights and some GB shirts. Let's go. Week one contestant will get a chance to win cash for some Labatt 6-packs, 12-packs, 24-packs, and a GV Art shirt. This week, we're welcoming in Jimmy. I saw him stretching in the green room there. He's getting ready for some Browns trivia on Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. Jimmy.
Hey, wait a second. Before we do this,
What?
I've got a bone to pick with Jimmy here.
Oh, Jimmy.
Oh, no.
Jimmy Reflux coming at him.
You don't follow anybody on the show, and you want to be on Who Wants to Be a Billionaire. What's the deal?
No, I definitely follow. Hold on. I follow one of you for sure.
One of us.
I follow Nick.
Nick, I don't care.
He follows Nick. Chris.
You follow Nick. Okay.
Yeah, me, Nick, or Dollar Dog Nick, though.
You don't follow Padone. You don't follow Dave. You don't follow.
I'll follow everyone right now.
Look at that. See, Jimmy, he's only saying this because the only way you get clues if you follow.
I'm taking away the clues unless I get a follow.
I'm following everyone right now. Hold on.
There we go. Let's see it.
Yes.
Well, I follow the show, so
yeah,
that did count. I follow the show.
I treat everybody the same. I did the same thing to Mark Price. I gave him a hard time.
He did follow us.
He did. He followed. That's right. It's just the rules of the show.
Does Mark Price still follow you, Chris?
He does. I have to check in periodically because I think,
Chris, I feel like we check in like once a month. Like, hey, is Mark Price still following you? Okay, good.
Yeah, I'm good too. I'm in the clear. Well, I don't
All
even
right,
follow
next.
him. I gotta throw Mark a follow back.
Wait, you don't follow back Mark Price?
No,
Oh,
I just did now.
come
All right,
on.
everyone got their follow.
Oh, here we go. All right,
All
Jimmy's
right.
on board.
you now
Clues
qualify
galore.
for some help.
Jimmy, how confident are you in Brown's trivia?
60%.
All right,
That's not that confident.
That's a passing grade.
Who
It's
knows?
a lot like my.
I don't know. We've
answer
had some
is.
pretty confident guys come on here, say like
That's
100%. So we'll see. 60%. All right.
All right, so Jimmy, if you get stuck, you get a lifeline. You can call a friend, put them on speakerphone. They've got 5 seconds to answer after you read the question. Are you ready to kick this thing off?
I'm ready.
All right, let me find my dramatic music. All right, here we go. Question number 1 for cash for a 6-pack of Labatt. Which wide receiver now starts for the Lions after getting cut by the Browns this preseason?
Oh, that's Kadero Hodge.
Nice. That was impressive.
Big Kadero Hodge fan.
Heck yeah, let's bring him back.
That one would have tripped me up. That was pretty good.
That wasn't tough, but it was
I would have missed it.
One.
I'll straight up tell you, I would have missed that. No doubt.
All right, Jimmy, would you like to move on for cash for a 12-pack?
Yeah, let's keep going.
Oh, I'd have
All
this
right,
one.
Chris, give it to him.
This one's easy. I would have gotten this one. For cash for a 12-pack of Labatt, this former Pro Bowl QB played 1 season with the Browns, and it was a magical season, by the way. He signed with the Lions the next year and led Detroit to a 13-10 victory over Cleveland in his first start. I can't read
Easy.
it. 13-10 victory over Cleveland in his first start. Name that quarterback. This is a big signing for us.
Read it again, because I feel like that's actually kind of a tough question.
Oh, it's the Butch Davis years. This former Pro Bowl
Pro Bowl.
quarterback.
That's a hint.
Yeah,
Played
I
one
think
season
the
with the
Lions is
Browns.
throwing it off.
He signed with the Lions. I didn't realize he was with the Lions.
I didn't know that either.
The next year and led Detroit to a 13-10 victory over Cleveland in his first start. He was married to a Playboy model. May still be for all I know, but I don't think.
Browns quarterback. Most were not married to a Playboy model.
He
that I
famously,
know of.
I think he got either a DUI or something right before the season.
Hey, we almost had
Did
AJ
he
McCarron.
really?
He's married to who?
Yeah.
AJ McCarron.
He had a very embarrassing.
Catherine Webb, yes, Nick, well done.
She trends on Twitter every time that AJ McCarron gets in a game.
I'll just take a guess and go with Trent Dilfer.
Okay, would you like that to be your final answer? I'll give you one clue. He was more of a mobile quarterback than Trent Dilfer.
Oh, I did not know that there were clues. I will take the clue. I fought everyone
bet
for
you
it,
will.
so I'll take it. Pro Bowl mobile Browns.
I think that's fair to say he was a mobile quarterback, right, Chris?
He was a
Yeah,
mobile
he
quarterback.
was definitely
he's
more
running-
mobile
he's
than
moving.
running quarterback
Dilfer Dimes.
from the Niners.
And we
Wow.
can use I have one lifeline, right?
You have one lifeline.
Okay.
We're going lifeline?
Going lifeline.
All right, who we calling?
I'm calling my dad.
Good call.
There it is.
If I was on the spot, I would always call my dad.
My dad would take way too long. He'd be like, "You're doing what now? A show on the internet, and you're asking me about Browns trivia right now, and it's a quarterback that was for the Pro Bowl and the Browns. It's got to be Kosar."
Trying to think of who I would call. I'd probably call you, Dave.
Yeah, same. I'd definitely just
Or
put it in
Nick. Yeah, or
yeah,
something like that.
I'd put
yeah.
it in our group chat.
Oh, he
And
didn't
one of
say
us.
Oh, no, his dad didn't pick up.
Oh,
that's
is he
rough.
on Do Not Disturb?
He's got you blocked. He writes back. New
Calling
phone. Who
back.
this?
If it's on Do
We're
Not
going
Disturb,
back calls.
yeah. If it's on Do Not Disturb, you got to call through twice.
It is
My phone's
kinda
always
late.
on Do Not
It's
Disturb.
almost 10 o'clock at night, I guess.
He's gonna think there's like an emergency.
He's
No,
gonna wake up and be like, "Oh my god, I've missed 17 calls."
I know.
Okay, hey, do you know you follow Reflog on Twitter, right?
Oh, God.
Because I just started.
Oh, okay. Well,
No, okay.
I'm on his podcast You got podcasting right now?
Yeah, I got that guy.
Well, I'm playing Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, but it's Brown's questions. I'm like on, and you're my lifeline right now.
This is fantastic.
Okay, I'm gonna put you on speaker, and they're gonna read the question back.
Jimmy, you could read it to him. You could read it to him.
Okay.
Or you don't have it though, but
This former Pro Bowl.
Hold on.
Okay, you're on speaker. They're about to read it.
All right, here we go.
This former Pro Bowl quarterback played 1 season with the Browns. He signed with the Lions the next year and led Detroit to a 13-10 victory over Cleveland in his first start.
The quarterback, QB, right? Not corner.
Quarterback, correct.
Quarterback, 49ers quarterback, went 1 year with us and then to the Lions.
Jeff Garcia.
Wow! The lifeline.
Got it.
All right, thanks.
Very nice.
Wow.
All right. There we go.
Judicious use of a lifeline right there. Well done.
Clutch.
Heck yeah. All right, Jimmy, would you like to move on? You have a 12-pack right now.
Yeah, I'll just keep moving.
Heck
Why
yeah.
not?
Why not? All right, Nick, give him the question. Number 3.
Let's do it. Question number 3. For cash, I feel like I need the music too, Jason. There we go. For cash for a 24-pack of Labatt. The last time the Cleveland Browns beat the Lions was 2001. That's a regular season victory there, folks.
Jeez.
The Browns defense intercepted Detroit's starting QB 7 times. 7. Who was that quarterback?
Oof.
I was 3 years old. I've got no idea. I'll take a guess. David Carr.
Oh, no. That's a tough one, man. 2001. That was the last time we beat the Lions?
That feels
That doesn't sound
horrible.
right.
That just feels not good.
And I didn't realize this guy was their quarterback either.
Yeah, the answer was Ty Detmer.
Nice.
BYU's finest.
He threw
Dang.
7 interceptions. What were they? And they didn't throw the ball that much back then either. What were they doing in that game?
Who knows, man?
I feel like you would have gotten,
man.
question 4. Let me ask him question 4 because I think that was the easiest of them all. We got him kind of reversed.
All right, if you get question 4, we'll give cash for a 6-pack. How about that?
There you
All
go.
right, let's go for it.
Everybody wins after a Browns loss.
Let's do it.
The Browns and Lions used to play each other in the preseason every single year. It was a tradition unlike any other. What is the name of the trophy that the winning team receives?
Oh, it's the Great Lakes Barge.
There you go.
There it
Yeah.
is.
What a rivalry.
What a rivalry. The wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald Trophy, the Barge.
Heck yes. All right, you're going to get at least a buzz on. 6-pack of Labatt Blue Light coming at you.
Great, we'll take it.
Heck yeah. Thanks for joining. Before we let you go, any thoughts on the Browns? And by the way, that Jaws poster is awesome.
It is awesome.
You said Ty Detmer threw 7 interceptions in 01?
Yeah.
All right, well, Jared Goff's throwing 8 on Sunday.
Nice.
We got to win that game, right?
Yeah, must win.
Must win.
Browns by 1 million. You heard
Browns
it here first.
5 million, yes. And we all have a new follower.
So did your dad say he follows me or no?
He had no idea who you were, Chris.
No.
There you go. Nice.
Like father, like son, Chris.
Fantastic.
I love it. Jimmy,
Thanks for the support of your
being
family.
here.
I appreciate it.
Well, you got a permanent follower now, so appreciate it.
There we go. There we go.
There we go.
All right. Good stuff,
Well
man. Appreciate it. Go Browns. We will talk to you on Twitter.
Thanks, man.
All right. See you, Jimmy. That was tough. There's no way I would have gotten Ty Detmer.
What's crazy is none of us remember
No
that game. Nick G didn't even remember that game. He was literally sending us screenshots of like pro football reference to make sure that like we realized that it was legit.
So clearly we don't have much history with the Lions.
No.
because 2001, like how
Outside of preseason, we got a lot of preseason.
Yeah, which is
a lot of
that's
preseason.
what
a lot
that's
of
the crazy
preseason
part.
bad blood.
Yeah, that's the crazy part.
Man,
I will say I like the Lions' new uniforms. They redid that correct, I think.
I haven't really noticed.
Don't say anything nice about our opponent, Nick. Say that.
They're dude. They don't have not one win yet. I'm complimenting their uniforms.
How piss poor was that kick? That field goal kick to win
How
the
piss
game.
poor
Did you
was that
see
whole
Chris?
that whole game was a nightmare.
Oh my!
I was just thinking, a winless team and Knicks complimenting their uniforms. When we went 0-16, you couldn't even do that, right?
No, God,
no.
no, those were awful.
We didn't have like opposing fans going, well, I'll say something nice. I really like those unis that they
I
wear."
really like the text on the pants.
It's big, all right. You know what team you're playing.
That's how bad we were. You couldn't even compliment the unis.
Horrible. Let's look at those lines. Let's look at some bets.
Up there.
Do we update the graphic?
I don't know. At this point, why bother? Does he have a touchdown yet tonight, Nick?
Nope. And matter of fact, his offense does not look very good, guys.
Does he have a catch?
The high-flying Los Angeles Rams have only 7 points.
How far in? Are we?
Odell's fault.
I think we're in the third quarter. Cooper Kupp just dropped a pass. So really everything is just going right according to plan.
They've been Odell'd.
They've
It's
been Odell'd. Yep. I would start selling those Rams Super Bowl props if you can.
There you go. Winning season is still in full effect, not every other week for the Browns at my bookie. And it is time to get into the action. Browns fans, stop fighting each other on Twitter about Baker Mayfield. Go get started by doubling that deposit. Give you the firepower to add excitement to those games you love. You got OSU football versus Michigan coming up this weekend.
Michigan State.
Or Michigan State,
You
sorry.
keep saying Michigan. Michigan's in 2 weeks.
2 weeks, whatever. Michigan State,
Same
then
difference.
Michigan, 2 wins, whatever. Go bet them both. Go bet the overs on them. Go bet probably, I don't know, on the Browns. I just don't know anymore.
Cavs.
Just flip a coin and just take a bet. You really don't know what you're gonna get.
Rock,
Use
paper,
promo
scissors.
code Big Play. Get that deposit match dollar for dollar. Promo code Big Play. Double it up. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with my bookie. All right, I feel like this spread has moved around quite a bit. I thought I saw it at 11. Now it's at maybe 9.5, 9 or so against the winless Lions this week. Detroit's only really been blown out like 3 times this year. Like they've had some close games. Yeah, right. Is this going to be a statement game for where the Browns bounce back, Chris, or what are you thinking?
We have a statement game every 14 days.
That's right. You lose, then you have a statement game, then lose, then statement game. It's kind of a fun thing that we do here in Cleveland these days. How can playing the Lions be a statement game? Just win. They're the freaking Lions. It's not a state. The statement is go win the freaking ball game and then shut up and go win the next one. I mean, when you're playing a team that's winless in the NFL, the only statement you could make is just win and then get the hell out of Dodge. Come on. Don't give me a statement game on this.
Over under 44.5. What do you make?
That's awful.
What do you make of that? Talk about Jekyll and Hyde. Vegas has no idea what to do here. Detroit averages only 16, 17 points a game. Cleveland's average goes down like 2 or 3 points a week.
I might take the under on that.
We're down to 23 points a game. We were up at like 28 points a game we were averaging in the beginning of the year.
Oh,
And the defense is slow.
It's going to be one of those bad games.
Detroit almost gives up 30 points a game. We give up 24.
And then you got Joe Woods giving up 100 yards to a running back who I didn't even know who it was before the coin toss. I'm like, oh, Ramon, what's his first name? I don't even know.
I honestly feel like this is going to be like a super, super wild game where it's like 54-50, or it's going to be like 6-2.
I could see that. I could see the 6-2.
Yeah. Oh
It's
God,
gonna
I
be
can't-
it's gonna
I
be
can't do it.
the Tigers versus the Guardians. That's what it's gonna be. Basically like a baseball game. I could see a baseball score out of this. I don't have a good feel for it. I don't know. Just get this thing over with. If we lose this game, I'm
Just
done.
win. I'm
Yeah.
so okay, Twitter.
I will say,
done.
I will say,
Right.
I
feel like I'm
think
in Squid Game. I just you'd see the lions just like no, you can't lose it. I don't want to die here. Don't die. Don't let the season die with the damn lions.
No kidding.
I feel like the only thing that could make it die here is if they start looking ahead. Because I said at the beginning, they're still alive, and I think based off some of the comments in the post game press conference, I truly do think that they know that they're still alive. Like it's not like, oh, we're awful, we suck. Like they still do know that there's a chance. So don't
Right.
start looking towards Sunday Night Football against Baltimore in Baltimore. You have to beat the Lions in your own stadium, and if you don't, that I know Chris said he's done, but literally the season's done.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Gotta win.
Because I think the
Must-win
Ravens
game. Every single game now is going to be a must win. That's what we played ourselves into. So just
Yep.
get used to it.
the Ravens play Chicago.
Oh God.
So
Chris, I started construction on the golf simulator in the garage, and
Nice.
I had buddies over watching the game, and we're like doing construction, like cutting the electrical in certain areas, and like where it's like the third quarter, and I just shut off all the power. I'm like, I can't watch this anymore. This game is so bad. If we have another one of those, like Chris, if your crystal ball is correct, this is gonna be really, really tough. Like this, we're getting into where we start raking leaves third quarter.
Yeah. And
I'm
the
off Twitter if that happens. You guys will have to text me the link to get on this show.
And then we talk all Cavs, all Buckeyes, and some hot stove bridge statue baseball.
Hey, how about are the Guardians getting their name? What's going
I hope
on?
Good question.
I hope
Does
not.
my bookie have a backup name for the Guardians odds? It's
Ooh.
got to be Cleveland Baseball Club / team.
Yeah.
It's got to be like minus 300, 350.
I honestly think if they can't pull this off, which would be hilarious, which I would just absolutely love. Like I don't hate the Guardians name that much, but like I just think it would be really funny.
Yeah, pull for chaos.
Yeah, absolutely.
You just know what's going to happen though. You pull for chaos, and then something worse happens. Like we name ourselves after the WNBA team. Like we're the Cleveland Rockers.
Oh, the one thing that people, yeah, that is
Go
true.
back to being the Rockers with a big old guitar as our
Yeah.
logo. Just like
But to
fine.
Careful what you wish
point,
for.
I really don't think you could go and pick an actual new name like the Spiders or the Rockers or something. You would have to go Washington football team route.
Or make up a name. Do like Facebook and do like Meta or something like, or it sounds like a computer company.
What if they just did baseball backwards _18?
I love it. Let's go.
There
with it.
you go. You know what?
Labob.
Labob underscore.
Go Labobs.
That was quick. Well done.
That was. Oh man, this is what happens when the Browns are 5-5 and the internet's just a crap storm.
Yeah.
Speaking of internet, are we going to go into best and worst tweets, or are we just going to hang it up?
I don't care. What do you guys want to do?
Also, don't care. We also probably have to give score predictions for this game, unless you guys are
Let's
going.
do
to
the score
6-2.
predictions and let's get out. This
All
has been a show.
All right.
Sounds
Well,
good.
I don't want to go
Score
first.
predictions.
I'll go first.
All right.
Browns win 10-4. 10-4. Two safeties. Why not? 10-4 Browns.
10-4, huh?
10-4, little buddy.
All right. Nick?
All right. I have to do it. It's the cycle, and we're resetting. We're getting our good game in 14 days. I'm guaranteeing a Browns win.
Didn't we say we were all going to pick the
You're
Lions if the
guaranteeing-
Browns lost?
You're guaranteeing a Browns win over a winless team?
Yeah, it has to
Congratulations.
happen. It
Bold
has to
call.
happen. Guaranteeing it. Bold, yeah.
Wow.
Go back to
You're
our
really
old
out there on that
prediction.
limb.
That's it.
Better
That's
come
my
in
bold
here.
prediction.
Woo.
The Browns win. I'll give them 27-21.
Watchable game? Sounds like a watchable game.
I guess. Are any of them anymore?
No.
Wow, you really sound downtrodden.
You know the defense is going to get gashed.
No. We're only,
Joe Woods is not.
we're only
Woods
giving up
have
4
another week.
points, and that's
You know,
all
we-
the offensive fault.
Yeah, we might get like 9 turnovers and get 2 defensive touchdowns.
Yeah, Joe Woods better hope because that seat is heating up.
How about Myles Garrett throwing him
Mhm.
directly under the bus and then
How about-
backing up over him after that?
Yeah, Chris, we had Myles Garrett call him out. We had John Johnson call him out. John Johnson said that they kept going to plays that we've continually been burnt on all year. And then we had Joel Bitonio literally threw the whole thing under the bus. New
I missed that. What did
contract and
Joel
all.
say?
Joel said that we were outplayed and outcoached.
Oh, he went with the full.
Went with the full whole thing.
I mean, if you're gonna,
He's
if you're
gotten
gonna
paid.
say
That's what
that,
happens when you
I
get
guess
paid, man.
Yeah,
You don't
saying
care
against
anymore.
Bill Belichick's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Like you could probably get away with that one that week, but
Yeah. Oh well,
right, I will
if we
go-
lose, we'll hear the same press conference of we got to do better, we got to execute better, we got to put the guys in a better spot, and not to mention we got to watch the tape.
Jesus Christ. I will go 59-57 Lions.
What?
59. Oh, you're going with the Lions. Wow.
We told ourselves we would pick the other team if this didn't work out. I'm the
Yeah.
only one sticking to it.
Good for you.
If this,
Enjoy the Twitter roast.
I'll double down. If the Browns
God.
lose to the Lions, I won't pick the Browns for the rest of the year.
All right.
Yeah.
We're at that point in the season, folks. We are there.
Yep. All right. Let's get out of here.
Go Cavs.
Go
Cavs.
Cavs. Thanks
Go
for tuning
Browns.
in to the Big Play Reflog Show. We will see you next Monday night, 9 p.m. Thanks to everyone in the comments on YouTube. Hopefully we get Twitter's comments back at some point. Twitter, figure it out. And huge shout out to Shaq News, GV Art, TSC Cleveland, Labatt Blue Light. Yeah, look at Nick's shirt. Look at that. Awesome. We will see you Monday night, 9 p.m. Go subscribe on YouTube for a chance to win TSC giveaways. And we will see you next week.
With the barge. We'll have the barge.
The barge.
With the barge.
Michigan State, not Michigan. Goodbye.
It's time! Streaming live from Cleveland, Ohio! Presenting the undefeated, undisputed heavyweight podcast of the world! The Big Play! Reflog!